And we are the leader of the free world. They just don't know it yet. Let me tell you how we can do it. Charles Van Morgan Show, and we are broadcasting live, YouTube, worldwide. Come on in and join me. Got a show for you today where we're going to expose government corruption. Charles Van Morgan. Remember the brand, because if they take me off YouTube for illegitimate reasons, who knows, I'll be on here on the internet, maybe Rumble or Twitter. So let's turn this thing around, get some people on here. Charles Van Morgan in the morning, join me. So thank y'all very much. Free my homie Democritus. They ain't do nothing wrong. He is defending himself when owners of the house he's spoken to pointed a gun at him, and his mom testified in court that he's a good person. Okay. God bless you, young man. I pray. And your brother. So, the Charles Van Morgan Show. Join us. We have some really good information to pass on to you this morning. It is called The Truth. Unbridled, truthful news coming direct from Charles Van Morgan worldwide that you'll get nowhere else. You don't get the unbridled truth anywhere else. You get the corp news, corporations, the corpse. They represent the corpse in public office, the dead people that are dead to you, but they take care of themselves. And we got some information about current officials. You know how they rape your public coffers by protecting people in power when they're in office, when they're given jobs by people in office, and then when they retire, they do 30 years. That ain't enough for them. They go on to other agencies and other departments to rape your public coffers at the other departments. So the news channel is trying to tell you that bad officers, watch Channel 10, the story they're trying to print about bad officers. They leave agencies and they go at another agency and they move around a lot, and they're trying to say officers that do that are bad officers. That's the narrative that the corporation news wants to sell you. Look up the deal about Ray Faircloth, what they're trying to say about him. The truth is, a lot of times the good officers are running off from these departments because they're rogue agencies, and if you don't back up the crooks in power, then they get rid of you. So you got to have a job. You go to another agency. So they don't get to retire because they're the honest officers. So if you listen to the news, they're trying to tell you that the good officers are the ones that stay and retire at the departments. Are they? They go to another agency too, just after they've raped your public coffers for 30 years, and they don't get run off from the agency because they back up the power. They back up the liars in office, and they're allowed to finish their careers. And then after they retire and they've already raped your public coffers, they've served 30 years. It looks like they're stable. They're not stable. They're stable for the people in power, and then they go shopping too. They go to another agency, and I'll show you a prime example of a lawyer, of a liar that went to another agency too after 30 years. But the reason why he stayed 30 years is because he didn't stand up against the bureaucracy. He didn't stand up against the crooks in power because he's one of them. He backed them up in their lies. So of course they'll let you stay if you back up their lies. So we are truthful news that's counterintuitive, not from you, from what the people in power will tell you. What the people in power and the news tells you is the exact opposite of the way it really is. I mean, think about what they're doing and think about what really might be the cause behind a lot of things that they're trying to sell you. The book that they're writing for you, the narrative, the story that they sell you in order to get to a certain point, in order to get rid of good officers. What's really behind that? Is that the truth? Is that the true story? Well, Charles Van Morgan is here to tell you the real story. What's really behind all their lies? What are they lying about, and why are they trying to lie? Look beyond what the people in power are trying to sell you. Every now and then we get a little bit of small bits of information about part of the crimes that they committed, and then they cover it up and they still maintain power. You wonder, how do they do that? Because they got their propaganda machines, they got their other people in power, they got their court systems, they got their judges set up in power to legitimize their dirty crimes. If you have a judge to stamp the weight of law on a dirty, rotten lie, then it makes everybody think, well, it must have been legitimate. A judge said it was okay. But this judge is set up by them. The whole court system is about as crooked as hell. The whole court system is dirty. It's set up to maintain their power. And if you think that I'm making this stuff up, read any criminology textbook. It's not here just in my intelligent, brilliant head. It's in any criminology textbook. Read the literature. It's in Belgium, it's in UK, it's in Canada. It's a science. It's called criminology. It's the study of the causes of crime, the reasons for it, and also has a lot of knowledge about how to reduce crime. And just tells you the facts from a scientific point of view, tries to take the bias away from it as far as possible. So this isn't stuff that just lives in my brilliant head. It's stuff that's in a textbook that you can read, not just here where I'm at in Knoxville, Tennessee. You can read it in the UK. You pick up a criminology book. It's a chapter almost in every, well, you will find it in every criminology book. And you'll find whole books about it. It's called suit crime, white collar crime, crimes of the privileged, crimes of people in power. That's what the problem is. It ain't your street criminal. It's the people in power, their crimes that they cover up and they benefit off of and do no punishment over it and maintain power. And it is a science. So if you think I'm just talking hocus pocus and making up baloney out of the top of my head, look at my photo on my screenshot. Master of Arts in Sociology, Criminology from the University of Tennessee, where I became interested in the phenomenon of sociology, how outside forces affect people, and how these criminals in a position of power get by with crimes, because I was out enforcing the law on street criminals. But you don't see a law enforcement agency, for the most part, enforcing the law on people in power. You don't see a white-collar crime unit that goes after their own. And I'm not talking about the beat officers. I'm talking about the people at the top of these agencies. I'm talking about the mayors and the governors and the prosecutors and the dirty judges that steal, but it's not theft. If you make the law and say it's not theft, the legislators in Tennessee are a bunch of dirty crooks. They're liars and thieves, and they've been stealing from you for years and years and years and years. And now it's kind of to the point where they take so much of your hard-earned money that we can't even afford to eat. So we're going to do something about this. I proclaim and ask you to help me to be the leader of the truth world, the leader of the free world. And we'll show you what we can do about these crooks and thieves. Join the show today. I got some pictures, photographic pictures of crooks and thieves and liars and cheats and robbers of the affluent in power that are lie to you. They'll lie to make it hard for you to be able to go in the grocery store and pay for food, because food prices are so high, because they got to tax you. They get the tax money. You pay. If a loaf of bread is $10, the actual cost of it is about 99 cents. The rest of the $9.01 goes to them, so they don't have to work for that bread. They get your money from your taxes, which is totally disgusting. They're people in power. They commit crimes of affluent. They're the ones raising taxes, living off your tax money, and their kids are living off your tax money. So we got a great show for you. Going to show you about these crimes of the privilege, and we're going after them. We're chasing them and going to expose them, and not with violence. We're going to enforce the rules of law. We're going to initiate truthful conflict within our rights. Read Article 1, Sections 1 and 2 of the Tennessee Constitution. We're going to put that in use at the voting booth. So hang with me today. Charles Van Morgan show. We're popping up in the morning. We've been doing this every morning for several months. We have over 500,000 people working on 1 million people to get this message worldwide. It can start in your country, in your state. Right now, we're broadcasting live from Knoxville, Tennessee, and who knows where we'll be at tomorrow. They don't think we make a difference yet, but we will. And then they'll be trying to find out where I'm at so they can kill me. They'd love to kill me. They would. Don't be deceived. I mean, you can be like John F. Kennedy and think that you can go out and in an open convertible, leader of the free world, and that you'll be fine. Everybody loves you. And I wouldn't do that, and I'm not doing that. So in the future, we won't tell you where we're at, and if we do, we'll make sure that we look at the rooftops, because that's what they're doing now. They're using snipers. Charles Van Morgan show. Truth you won't hear anywhere else. We're very optimistic, and we're very enthusiastic and very, very hopeful. Sometimes you have to put aside realism. Sometimes you have to put aside what you see and think that this is possible, because the truth matters and right matters, and God is on our side. We won't fear what man can do to us. And when you're in the right, you need to keep going with it despite what it looks like sometimes. Pray and do right. And what we can see and what we believe sometimes don't always match up with reality. You should do right in spite of tough circumstances. So hope is more important than facing reality sometimes. Keep going in the right and don't look at outside circumstances. And that's what we're doing. It doesn't look very promising that we can put a lot of these criminaloids in jail, that we can put a lot of these crimes of the privilege, that we can prosecute them right now because they're in power right now. They will cover up the bodies and put them in your backyard, accuse you of doing what they're doing, but we can fight them. We can have hope and we can try. So join me this morning. I'm going to show you some pictures of some foreigners, people that shouldn't even be here, that are high up and moving higher in the hierarchy in Tennessee government. Do you want that to continue, or do you want to vote them out and put them in jail? So we'll show you pictures, and we'll show you pictures of people who have lied for the establishment, for the crooked, thieving establishment that's not working for you. It works for them. People think the establishment is broken. No, it's not broken. The government's broken. It's not broken. It works well, like a well-oiled machine for them. They've got it set up working well. It works well. It benefits them. It gives you a little breadcrumbs, legitimizes their illegal activity, makes it you think it's legal. Their well-oiled governmental machine power is well-oiled and working just fine. For them, that's the problem. It's working. It's working against you. The thing is, our system, we the people, have been broke. And we need to fix it and run over their machine, put a cog in their wheel, and fight back. Fight back. And that's what we're doing. We're fighting back. Now, it looks like a glorious task, an impossible one. Appears that way. But we have to have hope. I don't believe it is. It's not. It's not. We have to have persistence and determination can overcome a lot of bad luck and a lot of things that appear insurmountable, because they're not. We can make a difference, and I'm going to show you some pictures and suggest you use some ways and get some information out that we can make a difference, a huge difference. I proclaim that I am the leader of the truth world, the free world. Follow me and you'll get some truth you didn't hear anywhere else in this age of technology. One little person with a lot of knowledge and education and inside information and willpower can fire up a whole generation of people that have been here a long time like me, or new that aren't very old, to take our government and use it for our benefit peacefully at the voting booth. That's what this channel is about, pointing out the illegitimacy of the government in plain facts, pictures, black and white every day, tell you what their story is, what they're trying to sell you, and show you what the truth is. I'm going to try to sell you the truth. Most people don't have to sell it to you, you already know it is. I'm going to present to you the true narrative. You don't have to believe me. It's called the marketplace of ideals. And they got their marketplace. They got a podium to stand on that's in power with their fancy government symbols that illustrate power, and they do all kinds of stuff to show you, hey, we're legitimate, while they are stealing your money in Tennessee and stealing other people's money in other states. Tennessee judiciary is. You won't hear anybody else say that. They're afraid to. And I have a significant amount of fear in going this route that I believe that God has called me to, and pointing out the illegitimacy of the government, because they will try to kill me. They will try to take my life. They have already tried to put me in jail. So this is not a joke. This is not funny. This is serious business, serious activity, fighting the creeps in power. And we're going to fight them not like they do. We're not violent. They are. That's why there's fear. But they're not going to get it done. The fear doesn't deter me from acting. What the fear does is help me to be cautious and more aware and survive the attack, because they're the ones that should be afraid, because I'm the bearer of truth. So stay with me today. When we get down to the bridge, we're going to show you some paperwork and suggest to you some people that are running for public office right now that are creeps. And we're going to show you some pictures of some people that have stayed with departments, and they've kept them on with the departments, although they're violent and dangerous and have lied, because they uphold the establishment. And they change departments too. They just do it after they've served 30 years lying for a department. They won't get rid of them because they lie for them. Then they move to another agency too. Channel 10 News and the other news channels, WBIR, whatever, all of them. WVLT is one of the worst ones. And I will say Channel 10 News has started to give me better news coverage, because I fought them back. It does work to fight people back. It does. You punch them in the face and it hurts them. And they punch me in the face, I'm numb. It ain't gonna... And I'll punch you back figuratively. I don't want to be taken off YouTube, Rumble, or Telegram if they take me off there. So they would have you believe that rogue officers get their career cut short. They get terminated from agencies and they go on to another agency, and then they end up doing bad stuff because they're bad officers, and they get dismissed from a lot of agencies. So they're trying to say officers that move to a lot of different agencies are bad. And that's why they move, because they keep getting terminated, and then they just pop off another agency. Those civil rights lawyers try to tell you that. And that's the story they try to say. When they leave an agency without staying 30 years and retiring, the narrative is, and I'm going to show you the truth, the narrative is that they're bad officers because they got run off from an agency, because they're crooked officers. So the officers, the departments are great departments and have great leadership, and they say, we're not going to continue to employ this dangerous, violent officer. And so the officers that they're claiming are bad officers are officers that aren't good, and they run off from an agency, 2 or 3, and then they have to go to another agency. So the story they're trying to sell you, and I'm going to tell you the truth, the story they're trying to sell you is that these officers that get run off from departments, like Ray Fairclough, and that have a history of working at several different agencies, are bad officers. And the evidence in the fact that they've, in the department heads, the people in power, the privilege, these are bad officers. And then they show up in another department and they claim they get run off there, and or they resign under suspicious circumstances. So that the news is trying to say all these are bad officers because they're getting disciplined, they're leaving, and the other department they're getting disciplined, they're leaving. You get the deal, and that's what the news is trying to tell you. So what's the truth? Is that true? I mean, are we going to believe the narrative of the court news, the narrative of the people in power, the privilege? Because these street officers, Ray Fairclough wasn't a privileged person. He's a street officer that risked his life on the road fighting crime for you. He was a drug recognition expert, cleaned up a lot of the roads by taking people that's hard to detect that they're under the influence because they weren't under the influence of alcohol. They don't tell you about that Ray Fairclough was a drug recognition expert. I know that for a fact because I was too. They trained me with a lot of your money to be a drug recognition expert, and then they just wiped all your money away by lying about me. And are they lying about Ray? So we'll tell you the narrative about that the news is trying to sell, and then we'll show you pictures of people who have retired with police departments. And then they go on to another police department. They don't get their time cut short, but they're good officers according to the news because they spent 30 years there. Did they spend 30 years there because they were good officers? Or did they spend 30 years there because of another reason? And are they going to our local agencies? Wow, what noisy car. Are they going to our new local agencies that we're paying them tax money was because they were good for you at the other agency? Or were they good for the privilege? Let's see about that narrative, and we'll show you pictures of officers and show you the lies that they told. And they told them for 30 years off your tax money against you. But did they lie against the establishment? Let's flip the script to the truth. They're lying to you. The script that they're telling you is a bunch of dirty lies that benefit the privileged. Benefit the privileged. The lies benefit them, keep them in power, make them appear legitimate, let them rob, rape, murder, and steal your money. And they have to lie because what they're doing is not legitimate. It's not good for the public. That's what the government's supposed to do, isn't it? It's supposed to provide for the general welfare of the public. It don't provide for the general welfare of the public. These people have infiltrated it. It provides for their welfare and their kids and their families and their cronies and the billionaires. It don't provide for you. It provides for them. Oh, good. So I'm getting better at this. I avoided a fall. So we're going to tell you the real narrative and show you pictures. Let's see how many people I got in here, and maybe read some of the comments, and we'll tell you the truthful narrative that you can give credence to or you can reject it. It's called the marketplace of ideals. I'm putting out the truth. You can decide if it is or not. Why would they want to shut me up? I mean, you look at it yourself. Why would they want to stop me from speaking the truth? If they think it's a lie, all they have to do is point out that it's a lie. Here's why. And we got a judge that signed off on the lie. Why would they want to shut me up? If I'm so ridiculous, then why do they want to kill me? Why do they want to incarcerate me? Why do I have a mugshot? For saying, hey, vote for me. These people in government power are not serving you. Why would they want to put me in jail? I'll tell you why, exactly why. Because I'm good for you, the populace, the leader of the free world, the leader of the truth world, and not good for them. And they want to quell that. They don't want the truth to get out. Might make them Might make them look bad because they do bad. So let's see how many people got in here. We'll continue this narrative. You want to see the pictures of the crooks in power, then hang on with me. You won't hear this anywhere else. And you'll hear it, Charles Van Morgan. Remember the name, because they will try to shut me down. Let's see if we can get off the road here, because traffic's coming. They will try to shut me down because I'm speaking out against them truthfully, even though I'm just one voice. Of course, I got other people in here, and they got a megaphone that they can spit out their lies 24/7. They got 24-hour news shows to lie. A narrative leads you in the wrong direction. Because I'm telling you the truth, I ask you to consider that. Let's see how many people I got in here. The Charles Van Morgan Show. Leader. I'm not going to do that fist. They'll say I'm part of the conspiracy with Hitler. That's my sign, the I love you hand sign. And the leader of the free world. And it doesn't look good, but we have hope that we can expose the creeps in power. We're going to show you when we get to the bridge pictures of criminals that spent a whole career at an agency, but they're good officers because they didn't get run off. And the officers that got run off, they're the bad officers. That's the narrative that they just sold you on a news show just the other day. Let's look at the truth. Should we believe they're a well-oiled machine that's set up to keep them in power? I don't. Let me see what you think. Show you black and white evidence. I graduated from law school. They taught me how to do this. I went to their crooked schools and passed the bar, but they won't let me practice law because I'm a truth teller. They don't want honest lawyers. They want liars for them. They control who represents you in a courtroom. Let's stop some of this criminal activity by people in government power. So let's see how many people I got in here. Read some of the comments. Hang with me. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. If you like the show, subscribe. While you're thinking about it, hit the like button. If you subscribe, hit the like button. Even if you don't subscribe, hit the like button. And contribute to the show. Keep unbridled news on the air to fight these people in power. Keep the movement going. $1 shows you care. And it's not about the money. It's about showing the support for the movement. Power to you, the people. The free world leaders, the truth leaders, to fight back so our kids can have a better world and not one that's all wrapped up around their criminality, around the criminaloids. So let's see how many people got in here. Wow, a bunch. So here we go. Let's see. He's the man. Thank you. Big H is my... Oh, yeah. Okay, you speak of the proof. Okay, yeah, I'll show you the truth. What part of Knoxville, Tennessee you live in? South. Okay, let's see. The media ooze. Yeah, the media lies, don't they? Old grandpa. Yeah, okay. So they don't have nothing better to do than make fun of people. By united, we pledge, alleged united. Okay, I'll have to read that later. And thank you for all the comments. We appreciate it. God bless you all, I pray. And we will show you when we get to the bridge the pictures that we have. Let's read the comments. Japanese symbol for beginner. I don't know what that means. The T on there. We got a bunch of haters in here. Don't let the haters. Greetings from, let's see. Let me see my little thing. Greetings from Finland. Hello, Finland. Sigma Gorilla Dollar. Yeah, hello. Free Robinson. That's right. And like, share, comment, and subscribe. Charles Van Morgan Show. My Jesus loves everybody. My nation respects everybody. Boy, this nation respects the people in power and works to accommodate them. So submit to the mighty spoon. Yeah, these dirtbags in power are trying to make it to where we can't live. Let's see this long. Free my house. Democrats, he ain't do nothing wrong. He defended himself when the owners of the house. Oh, yeah, I read that comment. Yeah, I'll pray for you. So So, Charles Van Morgan in the Morning show. Thank you all for joining me. So we're talking about the narrative that the news media puts out, that bad officers get run off from departments and good officers retire at departments because they're good and they protect society according to the management of the agencies, because you don't get to be a management of most major law enforcement agencies unless you're a privileged person, unless you have a lot of money. So these privileged people and the news media privileged people are trying to tell you that officers get run off from agencies because they're bad agencies, bad officers, and the agencies are good. They're trying to discipline. And one of them, even former Sheriff Davenport, wrote that Ray Fairclough didn't belong in law enforcement. And I know Sheriff Davenport, the former sheriff. He lived right across the street from me. I mean, I wouldn't say everything he said was true just because he decided that an officer wasn't a good officer. He said some stuff about me before that wasn't true. He lied to me about stuff. So I know some of these people that are head over agencies. He was a sheriff in Jefferson County for years. Some of the sheriff's deputies didn't like him because he protected people that he shouldn't have. So, and also something interesting about people who are dead. And God rest his soul, he's answering to God now. I've got nothing against the man, but just because he said that Ray Fairclough wasn't a good police officer, didn't deserve in law enforcement, doesn't mean that Ray Fairclough wasn't a good police officer, didn't belong in law enforcement. Doesn't mean that at all. It means that Sheriff Davenport didn't like him. And I know Ray Fairclough. I liked Ray. I still like him. I think he's going through a bunch of stuff now for political reasons, being tried for murder as a police officer. And the news is saying that he got fired from a lot of agencies because he's a bad officer. And even Oak Ridge Police Department just suspended him and said he was a bad officer and wrote all kinds of horrific things about him, bad. And so he left there and went to Morgan County Sheriff's Office. And so look at Oak Ridge Police Department. I mean, right now they've got pictures of Oak Ridge police officers taking pictures on the scene of women's feet on traffic stops. And there's a big issue about that. So he didn't get along with officers that took pictures of women's feet on traffic stops. So I wouldn't get along with him either. So had he got along and maybe took a few pictures of women's feet on traffic stops, though, Oak Ridge Police Department would have kept him at the department. I mean, just because you get run off from a department doesn't mean that you're bad. It may mean that the department is bad, that the elites that run it are bad. You ever thought about that narrative? And it's in the news right now that the great and mighty Oak Ridge Police Department supervisors told him that every incident he's involved in needs to do the news test, where anything you do might be on the news. Really? That's the test that you train officers? How the people in power that run the news channels will present what you do? How about the test is that you do what's right and lawful and follow the Constitution? How about that test, the Oak Ridge Police Department or whatever department that said that against him, that disciplined him? And they use that as an example to show Ray Fairclough what he needed to do when he's responding to calls. That's what they said. You can read it. It's in the paper. I mean, they let a little truth get out. They want their officers to conduct themselves according to how the newspaper will portray an incident that they're involved in. So that's what they say the newspaper test. Treat every incident as if it might be on the front page of the news. Really? How about you treat every incident, regardless of the news media, about how, not about how it might appear or how they might frame it to appear. How about you conduct every incident according to the Constitution of the United States and the law, and you don't worry about the perception at the time that may change. But they're literally teaching their officers to worry about how WBIR, WVLT, CNN, NBC will react to what they have done. So if somebody needs to go to jail, that's a famous, highfalutin person, a person in power, and they know that CNN or ABC or WVLT will make them look bad, then I mean, that's what one of their supervisors said, the newspaper test. Then you don't enforce the law if in the newspaper it might make you look bad. Really? Really? That's what we come to, agencies, and that's the truth. That's what they do. They train their officers for the news test, that every call may be on the news. So conduct yourself according to as if the call was on the news, how it would be perceived by the news media, how they're going to frame stuff. I mean, wow. How about they frame themselves, they frame the news broadcast according to the Constitution, that they don't worry about how it would appear in the news media, that they are concerned with their actions on the scene of a legal call in the United States of America doesn't conform to how Putin's media will portray it with the state-owned media the next day in the papers, because what he did legitimately and legally was constitutional right to portray it the way Putin would want you to say. Oh, I forgot what country I'm in. It's not hard to do, because our civil rights are subject to the state-run media. If the media will portray our civil rights that we don't have any because we're not people in positions of power, then it depends on how the news media wants to portray it. The Constitution makes no difference to these people. It's the newspaper standard. How about I got another standard for this social movement organization, Power to You the People. It's the you will abide by the damn Constitution, and we could give a rat's ass less how the newspaper, the court news portrays something. Because some of these newspaper reporters are dirtbags. They're crooks and criminals, and there's some sick people that are news people. They're sick, some of them, not all of them, but you look at Matt Larkin. Matt Larkin, former news reporter for I think WBIR or the Knox News. Now they got a better one now, because I think Knoxvillians have showed them some of the business that we're not going to believe that. Matt Larkin went after me, printed a false story about me. He quoted me. Matt Larkin quoted me. Made a quote, put quotation marks around the sentence, and then said that I said that. I mean, that's just put it on the front page of the newspaper, all of the newspaper, quoting me, a quote that I never made. I never said what he said I said. That's a lie, Matt Larkin. So I need to be concerned. I should have been concerned when I was out on the call, and these officers need to be concerned when they're out on the call, that what they do comports with Matt Larkin and how he sees things to be. But how about what I did and what I'll continue to do in my life is make sure, when I was in law enforcement, that make sure what I do comports with the Constitution, that allows people their constitutional rights. Even give the newspaper the constitutional rights. Even give Matt Larkin his constitutional rights. But he's not even an honest journalism. And let's look at Matt Larkin, that went after me, quoted me something I didn't say. It's in the front page of the news. One day I'll show you that. Said something I said that I never said. And why wouldn't I sue them? Well, because their judges will say you said it even though you never did too. The judges will lie for them. They got the system in their favor. All these people in their bureaucracy, in their government, are dirty liars. They're in with the criminal syndicate. That's the state of Tennessee people in power government. That's the reason why no violence, vote them out. So Matt Larkin, if you'll read his biography, they brag on him. When I was a trooper, I seen a lot of death and destruction. I didn't like it. It's one of the reasons why I hesitated to get on with the highway patrol, because I knew I'd see a lot of bad wrecks, and there's other agencies that answer calls, but I didn't have a lot of people in power that could help me get on with a better agency. But when I got on with highway patrol, because I knew I could make a difference on the roads. I was making a difference at the agency I was at, University of Tennessee Police Department. And had I had it back, I would have stayed there. But I was standing up against the corruption there by privileged people in power in the athletic department that were trying to assault people, and they had a right to assault people because they were privileged. athletic directors at the University of Tennessee Police Department. I stood up against them to defend the public. In one incident, I told one of them that was threatening to hurt some of the civilians at an event. I told him, you put one hand on these people and I will put you in jail for assault. And so the chief didn't like me standing up for people's rights. So I went to another agency because I was good and stood up for your rights, not because I was transferring to a lot of different agencies. So Matt Larkin loves to attend executions. And if you see a lot of death and destruction because you have to on your job, I couldn't eat after the first several fatality wrecks I worked because it bothered me so much. It's up close and personal and real life and death, and you see some sad things happen. A lot of it's due to drugs and alcohol, and I couldn't work. I couldn't eat when I got home because it bothered me. And after a while, you get used to it. And I used to have to think that I'd pinch myself to bring myself back to reality, because you have to do your job. And I'd pinch myself and I'd think, I'm still alive, so everything's good. You got to take care of yourself, and you got to do your job and help benefit society in the long run. Do your job and find the culprit of the action. But Matt Larkin loved that stuff. He attended more executions than any reporter in the state. Other reporters wouldn't go to executions. They go to one or two to report on it. And they didn't like it. They didn't want to go. They were assigned. Matt Larkin, the sick man that he is, used to volunteer to go to executions. That's the news reporters we're dealing with. These are people that are writing your narrative, telling you what to believe. Matt Larkin, the sick reporter, the lying sick reporter that loves death and loves executions and loves to lie. So I'm telling you, some of these reporters are some sick people. There's some very sick people in the news. Now, I'm not sure he works in Knoxville anymore. I haven't seen his name on the headlines of lies anymore. And I do believe that they've got a better political reporter in Knoxville who tries to be as fair as she can. So kudos to her. And I appreciate her being halfway decent and fair in an article that she wrote about me recently. But it is because we are making a difference. We're fighting back. They're seeing that we're not taking what you're giving us. We're going to put it back in your face because we are the government and we don't have to listen to you. And we can decide for our own self the narrative we want to believe. So let's continue with the dialogue about how the news reports bad officers leave agencies. Maybe it's good officers that leave agencies because the agency's leadership, the people in privilege and power, are bad and they run good officers off. You ever thought about that narrative? Well, I would respectfully submit to you, as I say in court, that's the truth. The officers that retire are still going to other agencies, though. They're still leaving, but only after they get their high fancy paycheck. Retired from departments that they lied for over 30 years. And I'll show you the damn lies that they told in order to keep their job. So, just because an officer leaves an agency, that might mean that he's a good officer that stands up against the crooked people in power, that stands up against the establishment because they're violating your constitutional rights. They're stepping all over your rights, throwing you in jail, lying for you. And the Knox County Sheriff's Department, wow. And run under another Christian, a Christian sheriff. Yeah, they use the name Christian to lie to you. We're a Christian, we won't lie. You're the dirtiest, sickest pieces of garbage that ever walked the planet. Don't use Christianity. Don't use Christianity to act like you deserve power, because Jesus threw you out of the temple. He threw people out of the temple that were using the churches for money. Only time that I read in the Bible where Jesus got angry, the Bible says God is angry at the wicked every day. It's when they were trying to make money out of the church. Power is synonymous with money. These people are getting power using the church. How dare they? And they literally believe in their heart and mind. They're sold on their lie. They drink their own Kool-Aid. They literally believe in their mind that God is behind them being empowered, that God thinks that when they leave the bathroom it smells good. I mean, they're so disgusting, despicable, disgusting people. While children go without medical care, while the price of food is skyrocketing, these people think that God has put me in power. I'm a Christian. Well, you certainly don't live like one. I don't know your heart. I think you're pretty disgusting, and you're not going to shut me up. If you do, it might make it worse. It might make it worse. So the Knox County Sheriff's Department, wow, they're a real winner under a Christian sheriff. Yeah, that hires people that have caused a lot of death and destruction after they retire, and he knows he can hire them because they have backed up the rogue establishment for 30 years lying for them. And the district attorney that's caused death and destruction lied on people under oath for years, so he even hires him. They don't even need money. And they rehire him not because they're good for the public, because they're good liars. They've proven it for 30 years in lying for their agencies. So they know when he gets with this agency, he'll step on the Constitution, step on the soldiers that fought for it, alleged to be a good Christian, and back up our illegitimate power that we use to benefit ourselves and stomp all over you and put you in jail. So if you all want that, and I hope you don't, then you're listening to the wrong person, because my agenda is very quite simple. Spell it out, plain English, is to band together and go to the polls and vote these people out of jail, get a special prosecutor's office together when we get in power, and put these privileged criminaloids in jail and make a government that serves you and not them. And I have hope that we can do that. And I believe that it is possible. Now, circumstances don't look like that, but as I said, hope is more important than our perceived circumstances, because they make it look so difficult, and it's really not that hard. Symbolically, punch the bully in the face. It will hurt them, I assure you. God taught me that from a child. I was born in South Knoxville. Well, I was born in Georgia. We lived in Tennessee. The closest hospital was John L. Memorial Hutchinson Hospital. I've got a United States birth certificate. Born in the USA. How many people born in the USA? Did you know they got people that was born in another foreign country, came over here illegally, that are running our government, that are police and lawyers, that don't have a draft card? They are. You say, no, they can't. They have to be a citizen. Well, who gives them citizenship? The elite people in power that run your dirty government. How about born in the USA? Does that matter to anybody? And even in your country, could I come to the UK and start taking over? No, you wouldn't let me. Why are we letting these people from foreign countries come over here and represent their countries in our courtrooms and pay taxes to keep our courthouses open? It's because they serve people in power. They're letting them come over here and giving them legal status for their damn votes. They're crooked as hell. They rewrite the laws to benefit them. And let's stop that. Let's stop it now. The buck stops here with Power to You the People movement. Worldwide. And I don't care what the naysayers say. I know what the naysayers say. The naysayers print quotes that I don't say and put it on the front page of the newspaper. Propaganda machines all over the nation, all over the city of Knoxville, lying stuff I never said. And what they do in these back hallways is rape, rob, murder, and steal according to anybody's definition, but they claim it's legal and exempt themselves from the laws, that if you did the same thing, they would execute you. So I'm just telling you the way it is. If you think it's bad, it's 10 times worse than what you ever imagined. Let's get up and go to the polls and vote. That is one reason why I have publicly endorsed. I'm not a sore loser. I didn't even lose. It was rigged. Publicly endorsed a city council person here in Knoxville because of their truthful, conservative values. So vote in Knoxville for Becky Jones, city council. Now I hope this don't hurt her, because people in power get mad when you stand up against their little facade of legitimacy and they try to vote you out of office. Or try not, I've never been, well, I've been a trooper, but they try to vote against whoever you're endorsing. So, but that's who I voted for. And part of it is because of her Christian values. And I believe, and I've met her, and I believe not only does she say she's a Christian, I believe that she is. I believe that. I don't just think it's just words. And I believe that she's the best. I would have been the best for the position. Thank the good Lord in heaven I didn't get it, because I would have been giving my law degree away. I would have been giving my master's degree away. I would have been giving my Bachelor of Science and associate degree in business away for pennies. So I would have done the job and been very well at it, the best at it, but it's really good luck to me that I didn't have to put all that work and effort for a city that's so deluded and delusional that they think it's okay to close down roads and cause the economy to skyrocket. So that's who I would vote for, is Becky Jones, and that's who I voted for. Now, she had 330 something votes. The other leading rogue person that's going to back up the mayor and do whatever the mayor says, handpicked by the government. You know, if they're handpicked by the government to run, the government people endorse them. Don't vote for them. She got about 900 votes. So there's a long way for her to go here in the city of Knoxville. But I think she can probably make up the difference if people get up. Only a small percentage of people vote. If you voted for me in the primary, go vote for her. And if you don't, wow, this city is toast. I mean, you won't be able to live here, and they'll be glad. They don't want you to live here. They want your vote and want you to get out of here. And so vote for, I would endorse Becky Jones, because I believe that she is a Christian. I have met her, and I believe that she will facilitate Christian values, and I think she's an honest person and of good moral character, I believe. And so if you voted for me, vote for her. I would ask you to. If you don't, may God help us in this city, because we're going to lose this city to foreigners, to higher taxes, to homelessness, to crime, to officers that can't do their jobs. So she claims to be a Christian, and I believe that she is. So I would endorse her. But so let's talk about these officers that spend years with departments, and then they go to other agencies and get hired with other agencies. And the news media don't say, oh, they transferred agencies after they retired. It's only the agencies that get run off by departments that they're running down, saying they were bad officers and they got run off. No, they weren't. Some of them were very good officers. They got run off from bad agencies. Think of that narrative. How about the agencies were bad? Look at Oak Ridge. They got officers out taking pictures of women. Oak Ridge Police Department didn't like Ray Fairclough. Well, go figure. I wouldn't want an agency to like me that's got perverts out on the road, stopping people against their will, using the legal mechanisms to apparently lawfully stop them, and then taking pictures of them, of their feet. What an invasion of privacy. And Oak Ridge Police Department didn't like Ray Faircall. Well, that's a good thing if you ask me. I hope Oak Ridge Police Department doesn't like me. So we'll show you a picture. We'll get down to the bridge of a officer that retired with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, that lied for the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Of course they let him stay. He lied for them. He got 30 years of your tax money for stepping on the Constitution and upholding their facade of legitimacy. And now, after he lied for them to maintain the illegitimacy of the THPP, he didn't get run off. They had no reason to run him off. He backed up their lies. They ran me off, and people can say whatever they want. They have put lies on me. I've never agreed to what they say, to what they've said. They've illegitimately put something on me that's not true. That's what they'll do. You don't have to agree with their lies. They'll stick them on you anyway. And plead not guilty and go to trial. Make them earn the lie until we can get people in power that will adjudicate according to the Constitution. So then they hire this former trooper with the Highway Patrol that retired after 31 years of lying for THP. And I'll show you his lie, black and white. Lied in a police report for them against you. Raised the fatality rate. He sure didn't raise the fatality rate. He maintained their power. Helped them appear legitimate. Helped them appear like they were out serving you when they were out serving themselves with your money. So after he lied for THP for over 30 years, the Knox County Sheriff, the Christian man that he is, hires him, and now he works in warrants. Because the sheriff knows, hey, I can trust him no matter what happens in the back hallways. He's got our back. He's got our lying backs. And we're Christians. We tell the truth. Like the governor. I mean, that's literally what they do. So it's not the good officers that get run off from departments that the news is trying to sell you that are bad. It's the officers that retire and then they go on to be hired by other agencies. And the reason why they're allowed to retire and have such a long years of service is because they lied for the agencies illegitimately. So the officers that retire and go on to work for another agency are the people that you need to watch out for, because they wouldn't have been allowed to stay had they stood up for the Constitution and people's constitutional rights. You won't hear that anywhere else. Look at what they're selling you, what they're telling you, and they own the news media. And look at the story behind it and think maybe what they're saying, it's the exact opposite of what the news media is trying to tell you. Look, think about what they're saying. It's bad officers that they run. And think about maybe it's good officers that the agencies run off. That not the officers are bad officers, that the agencies are bad agencies. I mean, after all, we have reduced crime and we have a lot less violent road police killings with unarmed people. So maybe, in spite of what they're telling you, they'll quote a lie that you never said, blatant bold-faced lie. So maybe the agencies are bad agencies, and the officers they run off that have to go to another agency are good officers. Imagine that concept. You know, I had a lawyer, and they trained me well. I know the business. I'll use it against them. Thanks for the political warfare playbook that you taught me your playbook. I'll use it against you in the right way. Maybe somebody against people in power against the privilege like me is being truthful. And maybe the people in power that have a megaphone are the dirty crooks and liars that raise the fatality rate that cause you to get killed. Think about that narrative. Maybe what they're trying to sell you, and I'll show you how, it's the exact opposite of what they're trying to say. And they sell it good. They're real good at lying. They've done it for 30 years at some agencies, and they intend to do it for several more at another agency. They're dirtbag liars, dangerous to you. I would advise you to take measures to protect yourself against people in government power. And I'm not saying violence. Go vote is one. And the main way to protect yourself is vote. If they're in office now, get rid of them. Vote for people like Becky Jones. Vote for good people, and don't vote for the people in the establishment that are backed up by the establishment. So maybe what they're telling you, just think about it, consider it, that it is the exact opposite of the truth. And sometimes it may be the truth. Very rarely. And I'm not saying totally discount, but I'm just thinking, think of the story that they're telling you. And think of the alternative point of view. Why are they telling me this? Who benefits from this story? If it's not true, then who are they trying to hurt? If what they're selling you is a lie, who benefits from their lie? And I'll show you who benefits from their lie. Because we have a Knox County Sheriff's deputy that retired from THPP, Tennessee Highway Patrol, and he's a liar. He forged a police report, falsified a police report. His name, and we'll tell you right down here, and I worked with him for years. I know he's a dirtbag. He's a violent, dangerous person. I've seen him. But hey, Joe Walker, if you feel giddy, I got a God-given right to defend myself, boy. The best thing you can do is stand up on your podium and say, Charles Van Morgan's a liar, and use your freedom of speech rights to lie, lie, lie. And I can't sue you for defamation. Your courts will uphold your lies because they're part of it. And enjoy your retirement. Because if you mess with me, then you can read between the lines. We will sit down and discuss it. So yeah, there you go. And also, let's talk about another liar for THPP that's trying to get a sheriff elected in Sevier County. So many people we got in here. So we got over 100. Like, share, comment, and not a single mega walking speaker. Yep, that's right. And we'll do this on the scene of mega back in business. That's right. That's who we are. Make America great again. Vote blue. Be blue. Down. Yeah, I'm voting independent. And Old Glory putting out his government lies. Thank you, Old Glory. Appreciate your lies. They should not follow bad orders. That's right. Okay, so I was there when ICE first showed up at Militia Stadium to show the perpetrators were out, then trying to stop ICE. Don't stop ICE. Let them get these foreigners out of here. First Amendment, convicted felon DJT, anyone supporting him should be voted out. In a secular county, being Christian is the only criteria. Oh, to foreigners. So unless you're an American Indian, you're a foreigner. Yeah, okay. Wow, what a bunch of hogwash. So we're going to show you Joe Walker, a warrants officer with the Knox County Sheriff's Office here in Knoxville. Knox County Sheriff's Department. What a liar. He wrote in a police report. Now it's because of political pressure, because he's going to back up the establishment. He interviewed it the night of where a man killed himself in a high-speed pursuit wreck where he ran and drunk and killed himself. He interviewed me that night. I told him what happened. Me and him went to the department and we entered it into the server, the video, and he showed me the video and I told him what happened. And he agreed with me. He didn't believe that I'd seen the car as a wreck. And then he went and interviewed Shirley Darling the next day, the lady that called 911. And this is the man that's now a sheriff's deputy. And he didn't get run off from THP because he lied for him. So he interviewed Shirley Darling, who said 6 times that she couldn't see the wreck, it wasn't on fire. Backing up my story that I didn't see the wreck and I didn't see fire. Another witness on the scene, imagine that, told him the same things 6 different times. I didn't see it, wasn't burning, didn't see it, couldn't see it. He writes in his report, she said she looked out her bedroom window because she heard a crash. She didn't see anything, she heard it. I didn't hear a crash, I was way down the road. He got a good lead on me, and the lights and siren, I didn't hear a crash. He topped the hill, was on the other side of the hill, where the camera didn't even see it. And she told him 6 times I didn't see it. I called it in because I heard it. Looked out my bedroom window and I couldn't see anything. Didn't see anything, couldn't see anything. It was dark, same thing I was saying. It was dark, and they say it's a lie. It was daylight, they lie. And then he writes his report and says, in contrary to what she just told him that's on the record, this is Joe Walker, a sheriff's deputy at Knox County Sheriff's Department. A police report, signed his name to it. He says in the police report, Shirley Darling heard a crash, looked out her bedroom window and saw a car had hit a tree. So he lied. That's not what she said. She said I couldn't see anything until much later. So he lies. He's a liar, a sheriff's deputy and a liar. Knox County Sheriff's Deputy Joe Walker. So he spent 30 years at THP because he lied for them, lied for the establishment, and now they hire him. The Christian sheriff hires him because he knows that they'll lie for the sheriff's department. Sheriff's deputy can do whatever they want to you, and he'll lie for the establishment. If they want to get an officer gone, he'll lie and say they did something they didn't do. Joe Walker, a liar. And now this lady right here, Kimberly Ogle, she's a real winner. Kim, stay away from my house. Don't come on my property. You come near my house and I'll defend myself. You got that? It's America. We've got a right to bear arms to defend ourselves against the government. So Kimberly Ogle, the liar that she is, now she's a liar and she was a witness against me in me losing my job, where I was out protecting the public from a dangerous drunk. She wasn't there that night. She got to be captain with THPP because she's a liar for them. She lies for the establishment. And now, hey Kim, I'm still out here, still spreading the truth, trying to, not violently, trying to tell the truth. She's trying to get her brother, the sheriff of Sevier County. I got people I know in Sevier County. I'm going to tell them, people that know. I got family members that live in Sevier County. Don't vote for Kim Ogle's brother that she's trying to get elected to sheriff so they can lie on you more. Really? Let's elect Kimberly Ogle's brother to sheriff. Here's this dirt bag. Kim Ogle, the liar, former captain of THPP. There she is. Hey, Kim, I'm out here. I got a right to say what I'm saying. Don't you dare try to hurt me. You got it? Don't do that. That's not right. You get up on your little captain soapbox and lie and say that I did something I didn't do. But don't try to hurt me. I'm asking you nicely. Don't try to hurt me. Don't have any of your thugs or cronies try to hurt me. That's not right. Stand up and continue to lie. Continue to but don't hurt me. That's not right. Now, I'm telling you, these people will try to kill me. We're standing up against them. And it's politics. I'm telling you, don't vote for her brother. There's nothing wrong with that. I think she's a liar, a crooked thief, and she shouldn't have been a captain. She ought to be in jail for some of the stuff she's did while she was a Tennessee patrol captain. She ought to be in jail. If I ever get in power, it's maybe a pipe dream, I don't know. I'll have her put in jail behind this very sheriff's department bars that she's trying to get her brother elected to. Let's flip the script. Look what's happening now. Some people in Trump's cabinet that were dirty liars are getting put in jail, aren't they? You know, there's hope. There's hope. But I'm just telling you, putting out. Kim Ogle, her brother is running for sheriff in Sevier County. May the Lord help Sevier Countyans. Don't vote her brother in office. They will lie for the establishment, which is why they're in the establishment. They're privileged people that will lie for the privilege, and they will trample all over the Constitution and put you in jail for no reason. So her brother right here, her brother is elect Chad Ogle. Her brother's Chad Ogle. There he is. Do not vote for Chad Ogle. Here's Kim Ogle. Don't vote for a vote for Chad Ogle is a vote for Kim Ogle. So Ogle, is this guy justifying what he did or didn't do? Well, no, you're a government bot on my channel trying to dissuade people from listening to the truth. What I did was I was very effective at. So that's your warning. So I know you're on YouTube hiding yourself, but you know, I'm not somebody to mess with. Trust me. Trust me. And Kim Ogle knows that. And this is your warning, Kim. We will try to vote your brother out. You won't get elected. And I'm going to actively campaign against your dirtbag brother. Maybe make that a trophy. Your brother didn't get elected because you back up the establishment. So hey, 13 years later, Kim, I'm still on here going after you. And 13 years from now, I'll still be backing up that you're a dirtbag. So, Charles Van Morgan in the morning. The Charles Van Morgan Show. Come on board. So, we're losing people. Let's build it back up. There's a reason why Charles doesn't ever tell his chat to go to Google and to read about him. Okay, I will tell you to go to Google and read about me. Go ahead, I'm telling you to. That's what the government says. Of course they want to run me down. Of course, people in power want to run me down. So big deal. Did they show you the whole story? Go to Google and read that they said that I wasn't honest to testify. Look at yesterday's video and showed where they gave me a subpoena. That ain't on Google. So Google don't tell the whole story. So yeah, go to Google. Google my name. The government is against me. Yeah, right. They got a mugshot of me. They got a mugshot of Donald Trump. That doesn't mean anything. So listen to these liars on here. But let's talk about Sergeant Joe Walker with the THPP. And let's show you a little bit of hope. I'm still standing on the promises of God. So people mad at me because I got a drunk driver off the road. Got hundreds of them off the road. Lowered the fatality rate. And Google, if Google is your God, you believe everything Google tells you, then I can't help you. So people telling you, go to Google and believe Google. How funny is that? Go to Google and read what Google says and look behind the scenes and make up your own mind about things. So, you know, that's what I'm telling you. And here's a little message for that. And I know this. Mine enemies would daily swallow me up, for they be many that fight against me. O thou most high, what time I'm afraid I will trust in thee. In God will I praise his word. In God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. So I trust in God. There's a lot of people that like to destroy me. You ain't going to get it done. We're talking about, and Kim Ogle is a member of the Bird C class, the owners of the means of production, land, machinery, buildings, tools, who pursue labor, who purchase labor. They purchase us. A less powerful class composed of workers who own nothing of the production processes and who sell their labor to the bourgeoisie class. Facade of legitimacy. This is out of a textbook. Your God is my God is your God, because there's only one God, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. That's right, Paul Silas. Amen, praise the Lord. An explanation that members in dominant groups give to justify their actions. A facade of legitimacy. That's what I'm trying to tell you, sons. These people in power, Kim Ogle, she's in power, she retired a captain with THPP. And she's trying to present a facade of legitimacy, trying to get her brother elected to power that she abused while she was in power. So this stuff is not stuff I just imagine off the top of my head. These people in power are dangerous to you. And the leader of the free world, the leader of the truth world, power to you, the people movement. I know that's a arduous task, but I believe that we can get it done. Let's don't look at circumstances. Let's pray and work hard, get together and vote. Vote. Don't vote for Ogle in Sevier County. And I got family members up there. I'm going to tell you, don't vote for Ogle. If she's anything like him, then they're going to uphold the establishment. So if you like the channel, then contribute. Hit the square icon and show me that you're listening to me, that you care about what I'm saying, if you want to keep the channel going, because my life is in jeopardy. So hit the square icon. Look at this guy. Many of you in this chat have to have information literally bounces off your empty hearts for days before you ever get it. Wow. Okay, why are you on here trying to hate on me so bad for? Old Glory is one of my best fans, one of my best people. So contribute. Hit the square icon. Keep the truthful news going, and keep the movement going. So let's look at some of the paperwork I got here. See, the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners won't let me be a lawyer because, like Shakespeare, famous quote, the first thing we do is kill all the lawyers. That phrase, if you put it into context, was because the people who were saying it wanted anarchy, and the law is what stops anarchy. If Russia can cripple Ukraine's judiciary. So that's why, see, I'm a lawyer. I'm not a licensed lawyer. They won't license me because they're trying to get rid of a lawyer that represents you. I passed the bar exam twice. They won't let me represent you. So when a country, United States of America, wants to destroy the country, if you put in what the people who were saying it wanted anarchy, and the law is what stops anarchy. So I would have stopped the anarchy that they're doing had they given me a law license. I would have been able to represent you. But see, that's the first thing they do. They kill all the lawyers, try to kill me, won't let me license law in effect to protect you all. So I'm out here representing you on a public sidewalk. I still got the education, I still got the knowledge, I still got the evidence, I still got the facts, I still got the proof, I still got the truth. We got the truth. They don't have to license me. All they have done is prevented me from going in their rogue, crooked courtrooms and representing you. I'm representing you in power to the people movement on the street with the talents and abilities they got me, and with the truth. So that's why they're trying to destroy me. That's why they won't let me be a lawyer, because they want anarchy, and they want the law. So here is another statement from about why these people are doing this stuff. So, deviants in power. Alexander, 1972, points out that every day concepts of deviants, nuts, sluts, and perverts all share the trait of powerlessness. Bag ladies, not corporate polluters, and unemployed men on street corners, not arms dealers, carrying the stigma of deviance. See, Mr. Old Glory's trying to give me a stigma of deviance because that's how they frame you if you're trying to fight their corporate corruption and their government corruption. They try to frame you as somebody that's not good. But I do have a doctor of jurisprudence. I do have a master of arts in sociology. I have a life lived experience that I know what they're doing. I've seen it with my own eyes. And I do have the truth. Don't listen to their labels. So let's continue reading this right here. Social conflict theory explains this pattern in three ways. First, the norms and especially laws of any society generally reflect the interest of the rich and powerful. People who threaten the wealthy either by taking their property or by advocating a more egalitarian society are often defined as common thieves or political radicals. Karl Marx, a major architect of the social conflict approach, argued that the law and all social institutions support the interest of the rich. Or Richard Carney puts it, capitalist justice is by the capitalist class, for the capitalist class, and against the working class. So I didn't make this stuff up. It's called an education. And you think about it. Our government institutions back up people in power. They don't serve you, they lie. And now Kim Ogle is trying to get her brother in power to further back up the people in power. Don't vote him in office. Don't vote him in office. So this stuff, I'm not making up. The people in power legitimize themselves to continue to do wrong. So let's look at the second reason. Deviance in power. Even if their behavior is called into question, the powerful have the resources to resist deviant labels. Corporate executives, government officials who might order or condone the dumping of hazardous waste are rarely held personally accountable, or who get rid of people who do a great job. Moreover, as the O.J. Simpson trial made clear, even when charged with violent crimes, the rich have the resources to vigorously resist being labeled a criminal. So they use your money, your tax money, to get out of their trouble. People in government power. O.J. Simpson used his money as a football athlete to commit a double murder. Kimberly Ogle and her brother are trying to use her tax money. She's living off your tax money. She's retired from the state THPP. She got tax money. That's your tax money. You're paying her buku amounts of money. She's a retired captain to help support her brother to further maintain power. That's not good for you. That's good for her. I worked under her. I literally transferred shifts to get away from her because she's such an evil, corrupt person, Kim Ogle. Now she's wanting her brother to get in office to help maintain their crooked. She literally helped a crook get out of a crime while she was a trooper. So, don't vote for her brother. So you see, I'm not making this stuff up. It's out of a criminology. In definitions, a well-respected science. That's not just in my head. That's been tested and studied. People have, since the 1600s have thought about what makes this happen in society. Do people really have a free will, or people in power, social forces, they do what they want? This is Belgium universities, UK universities, Canadian universities, all across America. Every university you go to. If you think I'm just blowing smoke, pick up a criminology handbook and go to Crimes of the Privileged and enlighten yourself. And people know already, you know this. I'm just telling you there's science behind it that has tested stuff, and they're telling you, yeah, what you think, that's absolutely the truth. That's the way it is. And that's what I'm telling you. There is hope in this movement. It's bigger than me. It's science. It's real. Power to you, the people. Let's take this government back from Kimberly Ogle. She's trying to run the government. The dirtbag liar that she is. I mean, she's caused death and destruction. She's caused people to get killed. She's a liar. Now she's wanting her brother to be sheriff to maintain more power over you so they can put you in jail for no reason. Let's get the sheriff's office to try to put her in jail. How about that? How about that, Kim? And if you try to hurt me, I'll defend myself. That's just your warning. So you might want to just leave me alone and enjoy your retirement. Speak out against me if you want all day long. I won't hurt you for standing up and lying. You've been lying all your life. What's you think you'll stop now? What I'd like to do is get you to lie from a jail cell where a little limited access. We'll let you talk to reporters in your jail cell and explain how I'm such a wicked person for enforcing the law, protecting society, and putting you and maybe your brother in jail. I don't know if he's committed any crimes. I know you damn sure have. You're on a witness list that testified against me, that took me off the road. That increased the fatality rate exponentially. You might even get hit by a drunk driver because you took me off the road, you idiot. You're such an idiot. And you think I'm afraid of you? Oh, people think you're a nut. I'm reading a textbook. Pick one up, people. Read what it says. Believe it. Just, trust it. It's the truth. So let's read some more of this stuff here. So, third, this is deviance and power. This is Kimberly Ogle and power. Hey, Kim. Okay, let's look at this. Third, this is that everyday conception of deviance. Okay. Third, the widespread belief that the norms and laws are natural and good mask their political character. For this reason, we may condemn the unequal application of the law, but give little thought to whether laws themselves are inherently unfair. Quincy, 1977. Deviance and capitalism. So the laws are unfair. They're made to protect and benefit them, not you. And they kept me from being a lawyer to represent you and lied about me. Black and white. They said I said stuff that they didn't say, and even used the Tennessee Highway Patrol to facilitate their lies. So look at this. Lisa Perlin said that I said he made additional references to the legal board. He proceeded to act angry and curse. He approached the sergeant on security for the bar on at least 2 occasions in an aggressive manner. He told the officer, how about if I pursue you and catch you and see what happens? The officer asked him to return to his seat. I did not say that's an illegal board. I never said that's a lie. And I didn't have my recorder in there because I'm going in to take the bar exam. So I'm going in to the bar exam. They won't let me be a lawyer because they don't want somebody that will tell the truth about them and defend you. They want to control lawyers and only get lawyers that will help you agree to plead guilty. They won't let a lawyer that will help you to stand on your constitutional rights. I've been to law school, graduated, have a doctorate of jurisprudence. I can't be a lawyer, not because I'm not honest, because they say I'm not honest. Because I am honest, they're not honest. So they lied. They said that I said it was an illegal board. I don't say it's a legal board. It's a board that is a criminal board. They have criminals on their board that have been convicted of lying crimes. I've never been convicted of any crime. So you see how they control the judicial system, where they only allow lawyers, and I can't be a judge if I can't even be a lawyer, that represent what they want, and they'll lie about you to keep you from protecting the public. But think about the laws and them preventing me from being a lawyer. Who does that protect? Protects them. Protects the lying Kim Ogle, the dirtbag thug that she is. Stay away from me, Kimberly. Stay away from my kids. Your imaginary big trooper is not going to stop me from defending myself against you. So this is your warning. And your little thug security guard that's a pervert. This security guard that was a THP trooper, he sexually harassed a woman in uniform. Howard Greenlee. How you doing, Howard? Yeah, buddy, enjoy your retirement. Don't mess with me. You can stand up and say I'm a liar, disagree with me all you want, freedom of speech. Go at it. I got that same right. And I will exercise that right. So, I don't want to be kicked off YouTube. Leave me alone. Let me speak. Because I'm going to speak. And if you don't like it, lump it. So, Howard Greenlee sexually harassed a woman at the courthouse when he was a trooper. And he's supposed to be honorable and whatever he says is right. Look up his name, Howard Greenlee. He was in uniform. He sexually harassed a 18-year-old, I think she might have been 17 to 18, while she was coming to get marriage license, offered to have sex with her while he's in uniform. Thinks that's all right. And they keep him because he maintains the power and lies for him. You see, you lied about me, saying that I approached him several times. That's a dirty lie. I was in line. Trying to get my law license. These people are criminaloids. A criminaloid, from the word criminal and suffix meaning criminal-like, is a person who projects a respectable, upright facade in an attempt to conceal a criminal personality. This type, first defined by Cecil and Barrow in the last edition of 1878 work, The Criminal Man. Unlike ordinary criminals, criminaloids enjoy the respect of society, and because they often establish connections with the government, and they're in the government and the law, they're less likely to meet with opposition due to respectable standing. They generally enjoy greater propriety than the average criminal and have an automatic advantage over the more conscientious colleagues. From the Encyclopedia of White-Collar Corporate Crime, the key to the criminaloid is not evil impulse, but moral insensibility. The criminaloids prefer to prey on the anonymous public. And I'm making him, pointing him out. He goes beyond this by convincing others to act instead of acting himself, which protects him from liability and being labeled a criminal, and is instead immune to such scrutiny. The criminaloid practices protective impersonation of the good. The criminal counterfeits good citizen and good law enforcement officers. So that's right out of it. Definitions of criminology and sociology. These people are criminaloids. And look at the criminaloids. I'm going to point them out by name. And that's the definition of who these people are. And I'm going to show you their names of people that lied about stuff factually, and they're in government power. So we need to vote them out. That's all I'm saying. Vote people in government power out. They're saying kill Van. You heard the movie Kill Bill? They want to kill Van. But Van's not Bill. Van's a good person that's telling you the truth, that's fighting criminaloids. And that's the reason why they're trying to defame me. But it's not true. It's not true. What is true is that I have a doctor of jurisprudence. I did pass the bar exam twice, tried to go through their procedures. They won't let me practice law because I will defend you in their courtrooms. They won't let me go in their courtrooms and defend you. So I'm defending you out on the sidewalk and asking you to vote and put us in power to get rid of these people. So here we go. Here's the criminaloids. Here's the criminaloids that are, as the definition says, moral insensibility. They don't even give a damn. They have no conscience. They have no care. They don't even care. It doesn't bother them to go to executions like Matt Larkin. Death and destruction doesn't matter to them. They're insensitive. They have no moral feelings. They're worried about their power. Here they are. Here's the criminaloids. Major Cheryl Sanders, Captain Satterfighter, lied about me, saying that I released a video that her and a friend released the video. There's evidence to prove that. She showed her the video the next day. Her friends that conducted a covert operation is friends with the news media. She was the public information officer for the news media. Watched the video the next day with the captain, even though she wasn't my supervisor. Wow, imagine that. Captain Satterfighter caused people to get killed taking me off the roads. Here we go, Lieutenant Kim Ogle. Hey, Kim. Yeah, now she's trying to get her brother elected to sheriff in Sevier County. Vote him out. I'm not telling you to be violent to Kim. Don't vote her brother in office. There's nothing wrong with that. Criminally insensitive. A liar. On this witness list, this is a witness list, appeals division. These are people that are going to lie against me. These are people that took me off the road while I was lowering the fatality rate in 2011, that they received an award for me lowering the fatality rate, named them District of the Year. She was in the District of the Year for my hard work. And then the next year, since they fired me and received an award for them firing me, I wasn't able to lower the fatality rate because they lied about me. And more of you all got killed because of Kim Ogle, because of the liar. And now she's wanting her brother to help to be sheriff so that maybe she can tell him how to get more Tennesseans killed while they're in power, because they're criminally insensitive. They don't care if you get killed. She has no feeling of whether somebody gets killed. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. She'll step over your body. She'll stand on top of your body in order to be taller, because she's a little short, fat woman, in order to spread a lie. That's Kim Ogle. And she wants her brother. She's probably trying to help her brother up on the body. That's your body, or your family member's body. That's the truth. What dirty, insensitive, and I'm not making this stuff up. I mean, I'm reading you out of a criminology definitions. That's science. It tells you about these people. Convincing others to act instead. She's trying to get her brother. Morally insensitive. They don't care if you get killed. They want their power. Criminaloids. Look it up. I'm not making this stuff up. These people in power are criminaloids. Stuff I know. I know how to fight them. You know how to fight them? Tell the truth about them and vote them out. It's real simple. They want to kill me. I guarantee they want to kill me. You know why they want to kill me? Because I'm sticking to the truth. Because I'm fighting them, like I was very effective in fighting drunk drivers and I was very effective in fighting the problem of danger on the roadway, lowered the fatality rate while I was in a trooper. Now, because I won't back up their lies. So here's the criminaloids. And look at this. Criminaloids imperil thousands of lives. False witness list. Lieutenant Kim Ogle, don't vote for her brother. Sergeant Stacy Heatherly, they get promoted for lying. She's now a major with THPP. So if you lie for the establishment, if you lie for the crooks in power, they don't run you off the department like they did Ray Flaircall. The narrative they want to say that they run bad officers off. No, they don't. They run good officers off and keep officers in their agencies that lie for them so that they can maintain their crooked power, so that they can live off your tax money. So Lieutenant Heatherly, she just says she retired from the 1175th Army National Guard. She never served a day. She got hit in a drunk driving wreck where a drunk driver hit her, and she caused the environment for the drunk driver to hit her. She helped take me off the road. There might not have been a drunk driver out there. I got more drunk drivers off the road. Might have been able to get that one off the road. They're gluttons. They're even dangerous for themselves. I'm even helping them by telling you the truth about them. Kimberly Ogle to this day might get hit by a drunk driver because they have sent out general deterrence. It doesn't matter if you arrest drunk drivers. You maintain our legitimate power. So that's why troopers don't arrest drunk drivers, because they'll get fired for it. So they get promoted for lying. Sergeant Stacy Heatherly, now major. Sergeant Andy Shelton lied. He lied. Sir, critical incident response. These are people that respond to wrecks. They go there and lie about a wreck. If somebody's at fault and the government wants them to get by with it, wants them to get by with their crime, then they'll point to the innocent person and say they were guilty because they lie. I know they lie. Sergeant Andy Shelton, he's on their false witness list. False. He testified under oath. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. He said that when they dispatched me to the wreck that I passed up because it was not seeable after dark, off the road, not turned over, not on fire. Another witness didn't even see it. Look at that, there's a bicycle lane over there and they ride on the sidewalk. And officers can't enforce the law, they'll get rid of them. So he said that I said that's going to be the vehicle. When I said they dispatched me to the wreck, because they're saying, you knew it was a vehicle because that's what you said. So you're just sitting there and you knew there's a wreck back there. What I said was, that's probably going to be the vehicle. So he quotes me again. They quote you stuff you never said. I'll say, he said this. I swear to tell the truth. I swore to that. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. And then commenced the line saying that I said something I never said. He said I said that's going to be the vehicle. Trying to say that I knew it was back there because I seen it. What I said was that's probably going to be the vehicle. That's maybe, but not certain. So he's trying to say I was certain. So see how they lie. Andy Shelton, and this is a member of their CERT team. So if they call CERT to an incident, you think they're going to get an investigation from a government agency, tell the truth about the situation. They're going to get a government agency from THPP to go lie and find out what they want to present to you and sell you a lie if that's what they want to do. They're very dangerous people. Very dangerous people to you. So Sergeant Terrell Johnson. Sergeant Terrell Johnson. Vernon, do you not know how to engage in real discussion? Charles is crying. So Sergeant Terrell Johnson. This is their witness list. Sergeant Terrell Johnson. Now, Sergeant Johnson, he's on their witness list. It's the people in government power. These are criminaloids. Now, he said under oath, that me and him sat down and watched the video, and I agreed that the car was on fire when I passed. I never sat down and watched the video with him. That's a lie. Never have I ever watched it. So, and he lied under oath because he was trying to get something that was off the record, saying it was on the record, but it was before the record, something that never happened. He lied. He committed an act of perjury. And then when we pointed that out to the judge took the perjurer's side because it was a hand-picked judge. If you think you're going to go in a Tennessee courtroom and get a judge to listen to the truth and adjudicate according to the Constitution, the truth and the law, you're wrong. The judge is appointed by the government, people in government power, and he will adjudicate for the government. That's how bad it is. So they will jerk you into court for stuff you didn't even do, and the judge, unless you go before a jury, will find you guilty of any civil offense. You'll never win a Tennessee courtroom when you're right in a civil case, because the perjurers will get said that what they say is the truth, even though you can prove it's a dirty lie. Because in the interview, I said that, he asked me if I'd seen the video. I didn't say, yeah, man, you just watched it. I said that several weeks ago. But he lied under oath, saying that me and him watched the video the same day that he did their little harassing interrogation, trying to say every horrible thing they could about me. I was keeping my job for my children then, Sergeant Terrell Johnson. I'm not keeping my job for my children. Don't you ever talk to me like that to my face again. You got that, you dirty people, man that isn't morally insensitive, that's caused people to get killed, got promoted to captain over your lies? Really? Stepping over bodies, Terrell Johnson? Come to my face and say that, and I'll tell you the truth. You're a dirty person that's sick, infected with government lies. So, yeah. And then here's another liar. That's right. That's right. Sergeant Ronald Cockrell. Yeah, we know we've been hard on you. He said that in the interview. And then we asked Sergeant Terrell Johnson, y'all were hard on Trooper Morgan, weren't you? No, we were hard. And it was, yeah, they can't even keep their lies straight. They don't have to. When you got a judge, the referee, that's going to call it a touchdown, whether or not you do whatever, then you're going to win the game because the game's not fair. We need to get rid of the referees by voting these dirtbags out of office. And that's not all. We're going to show you the rest of these dirtbags. Like, share, comment, and contribute. Give me $1. Show me you're listening and care, some of you. I know I got a lot of haters in there. I appreciate y'all too, idiots. Criminally insensitive. I could care less. Oh, I'm going to go away because people don't like me, some of y'all. I don't care. Oh, I don't care. You don't understand. I don't care. Evidently you care because you're trying to trash me. But I don't care that you're trying to trash me. It doesn't bother me. When you beat on somebody so hard like y'all have lied on me, it doesn't matter that you tell the same lie again. Been there, done that, got a cookie for it. It doesn't matter. In fact, you're helping me, so thank you so very much. May God punishes you for your attempted abuse of me. You're making it better. So, Trooper Christopher Dye, now I'm not sure he lied, but he testified against me. DA Randy Nichols, this is the criminally insensitive people. The criminally insensitive people, their false witness list. Criminaloids imperil thousands of lives, false witness list. This is the former district attorneys on their witness list. Supposed to provide for public safety. A criminaloid, morally insensible. Attorney General Randy Nichols. Now he said that some horrible stuff about me under oath. He's a lawyer. He knows that it is privileged when you're in a court case. So he defamed me, and I'm not going to repeat some of the stuff he said. So disgusting. Such a disgusting man. Sat in the courthouse over here. I'll show you. Randy Nichols. And now, Starman Tissue Allen, his successor that he promoted, sat in this courthouse over here and let a judge rape women. They wouldn't get rid of him because the judge ruled in their favor all the time. So they were willing to let him rape women as long as he ruled in their favor. Now in legal terminology, there's a thing called ringing the bell, where attorneys will stand up in front of the jury or in a legal ruling or a legal testimony and say stuff that they know is not true, that will get objected to, that can't be on the record, that can't be used as evidence. But they'll tell it to the jury that they know they'll get objected to, and the other side objects to it. They say, "Objection, Your Honor, that's hearsay." But they say it, and then they'll say, "Well, I take it back then." But it's called ringing the bell. They have said it so the jury heard it, even though it's not true, so they might consider it, even though it's not fair. So Randy Nichols, in his testimony against me, said some horrible, disgusting things. I think because he's guilty, he's gaslighting, he's guilty of what he's trying to accuse me of, with no evidence of what he's saying. Disgusting. He's a disgusting man. It's despicable. Now, he works for the sheriff's department after he retired from being the crooked district attorney, putting people in jail unlawfully, allowing a rapist judge, our tax dollars, to protect a rapist judge because he got rulings from him. He went to work for the Knox County Sheriff's Department, the Christian sheriff, and he didn't even need the money. So he said disgusting stuff about me, and then he rang the bell, and he says, "But I'm not going to say that's true. I take that back. That's not true because I don't know for sure." So he's ringing the bell, putting that out there, even though he knows it's not true. See what these sick people do? Criminally, morally insensitive to any kind of reality. They're going to win at any cost. And then we have Dr. J. Pollock. Dr. J. Pollock, a witness against me, who said that you can see better at night than you can in the daytime. The state paid this expert witness, because their expert witness was tied up. Their expert witness was tied up, that they use in their training in perception reaction, testifying that what I said was the truth. Bruce Siddle, that they use him to teach in their classes, but what he did is testify in my favor, that I didn't have time to see the wreck. So their expert testified in my favor. So they went out with your money and hired somebody to lie for them that said you can see. But they hired somebody to lie for Major Heatherly to prove a lie, that you can see better at night than you can in the daytime. They went out to the scene of the wreck, parked a car there, and drove by and seen the car that they parked there. They knew that it was the car they parked there. They parked it there, and said that I should have seen a car in a pursuit, that I didn't park there, that I didn't know where it was after dark. I mean, wow. And they paid him. They put him up in a hotel room, flew him down here from another state to stay for several days, go out and shut down the road to do an experiment, to say we went out there and we proved a lie. And then they paid him to come to court, put him up in a hotel room. You paid for their lie that took me off the road from protecting you. That's what these criminaloids do. So you even pay for the expert witnesses that lie for them. Now let's look at the Mr. Joe Walker, the liar that works at the Sheriff's Department. This is Satisfier. She said that you said that you've heard a lot of talk amongst troopers that they don't trust Mr. Morgan again. I would have to go through some of that. Joe Walker, Danny Thomas, Stacy Heatherly. So Joe Walker lies for the THPP, falsifies a police report. Of course he keeps his job. Lied on me that did my job. And now he's working line for the Knox County Sheriff's Department. Do you feel safe in Knoxville? When an officer, I can show you on paper where an officer falsified a police report. The THP didn't fire him. The judge stamps away the law on a lie. And now, of course they don't get rid of him. He upholds the hierarchy. He upholds the crimes of the privilege. And now the sheriff here in Knox County hires him, and he works in warrants at the department. I can show you a police report that he lied on. So the sheriff here has Joe Walker, who lied in a police report, and will lie in police reports on Knox Countyans. So remember that when you vote again for the new sheriff. Who does this sheriff recommend you vote for? So here's Terrell Johnson, the liar that he is, lied under oath, committed perjury. He got no college education, went to their training to teach people how to lie. There's the courthouse that a rapist that Randy Nichols allowed to rape women in. You can rape women as long as you rule in our favor. That's what they literally do. That's not a lie. So like, share, comment, and contribute. And fund the movement. Even $1 shows me that you care. So I sure appreciate it. So Major Cider Fighter said that I released the video to the news media. I could have. I didn't release the video to the news media. A lady, Sergeant Heatherly, that she met with the next day to review a video of a pursuit when she wasn't even anywhere involved. She wasn't in the chain of command. Watched the video. She admitted under oath that I watched the video the next day. And she wasn't my supervisor. So her and the captain are having a little criminal syndicate enterprise, figuring out how they can get rid of a trooper that's leading the state in driving arrest that they get an award for. She wasn't my supervisor, and they released the videotape to the news media the next day without any authorization. Who did it? Major Stacy Heatherly. Direct contacts to the media. Tennessee Department of Safety, Stacy Heatherly. Media release. For immediate release, one of few knew about it. Stealing pursuit tape and giving it to media. Most likely violated THP policy surreptitiously. So media release, Sergeant Stacy Heatherly is a person that released the video against authorization to the news media. So she wasn't a witness against me. And here's the criminaloids. Here's the criminaloids. Wife, husband, drinking buddy, THP's finest, and nepotism displayed again. So criminaloids blaming me for their crimes, and we'll cover that another day. And here's the man behind the whole thing, the piece of you see him right there. And here is Joe Walker, the liar. Hey Joe, I'm out here reading from a textbook. You're upholding a crooked establishment, and I'm going after you with speech and votes. I'd like to see you in a jail cell for your crimes against humanity, you thug. I've seen, come on now. I would encourage you to enjoy your retirement, not try to hurt me. I mean, you got a retirement. I'm out here speaking. People may not believe me, and I know how you are. You're a crazy man. Enjoy your retirement. Don't try to physically hurt me. It won't work out well for you. Enjoy your lie. Enjoy the money that you got off of people unjustifiably by lying for the crooked establishment, Joe. Don't try to hurt me, because I'll defend myself. You got that? So here's Joe Walker. Joe Joseph Walker, a liar. Lied in a police report. Sergeant Criminal Investigations, Tennessee Department of Homeland Security. Retired. Knox County Sheriff's Office, United States. He now retired sergeant, Tennessee Department of Safety, Homeland Security, Criminal Investigation, currently employed with Knox County Sheriff's Department in Criminal Warrants Division. So watch out, Knoxvillians. They served a warrant up here at a house on Sevier Avenue where they killed a juvenile. No body camera, but believe what Sergeant Joe Walker tells you to believe. I can show you where he lied in black and white in a police report. So he's working up here. Do you feel safe? I mean, they'll come in your house and kill you and lie about it. No video camera. Lie about it. That's Sergeant Joe Walker. That's our sheriff's department. That's the truth. That's how dangerous this situation is with a liar like Joe Walker. You come in my house, Joe, and I'll give you a cup of coffee if y'all believe that. And, I'm just saying, I'm not afraid of you, Joe. You're a dirtbag liar. You're a criminal. You're a thief. You lied in a police report. You step over bodies for a little bit of money. And listen, Joe, I've got, here in a month, we'll have 1 million people listening to me calling you a dirty lie and showing your picture. Freedom of speech, brother. You can tell the truth. You can tell your truth. You lied about your truth in a police report and signed your name to a lie that I can prove it's an obvious lie, dirtbag. You didn't think somebody that led the state powerful enough to fight your dirty horses platoon, did you? Well, I'm fighting you, and I believe we can win. So that's Sergeant Joe Walker. And here's his lie. And he now works for the sheriff's department, has authority to use it wrongly. They could come by and say, stop, man, turn off that phone, shut up. Just like they did in Chattanooga. You don't think they'll want to do that? That's how serious this is. Join the movement. Power to you, the people. Fund the movement. He gets our tax money. Fund me and I'll fight him. Otherwise, if you don't, I won't. It's up to you. I don't have to do this. I can move to California. Yeah, let's see here. We'll get off here when I get good and ready. So we are going to peacefully fight these people at the polls while they lie. People in government power, criminaloids. So let's recap. The man that's running for sheriff with the last name Ogle, don't vote for him. Absolutely. His sister is a criminaloid. She caused the fatality rate to skyrocket. I worked under her. She's a dirty liar. She was a witness against me. So I'm just saying, hey, Kim, how you like it now? Yeah. I'll fight you to hell and back. You ready? And if I was you, like Joe, enjoy your retirement. Leave me alone. Say, oh, he's crazy. He's just out lying. Just frame it that way. You can do that. That's fine. Don't try to hurt me. I'm asking you because it won't work out well for you. You got that? That's your warning. That's your warning. And I'm going to try to have your brother not voted into office and have you put in jail if I ever get power. I don't know. We'll try. Here's Joe Walker's lie. He works for Knox Countyans, and a lot of Knox County people on here. There's a sheriff's deputy. There's a sheriff's deputy that can come in your house and kill you and lie about it. He's in warrants. He'll get a warrant for you illegitimately. I'll show you a lie. Joe Walker, a liar and a sheriff's deputy. Here's his lie. Black and white. You ain't got to believe me. Look at black and white here. Here's his lie. Here's Joe Walker's lie. Knox County Sheriff's Department. Right now, today, you can come in your house and kill you, and he'll get by with it because they'll lie. They'll back up the establishment. So Sergeant Joe Walker, interview of 911 caller and Trooper Van Morgan, report narrative, second paragraph. Exhibit 25002. Miss Darling stated she heard a loud crash, looked out her bedroom window, and saw a vehicle had hit a tree. Miss Darling called 911 while she was watching the vehicle burst into flames. Okay, here's what happened. Here's the real story. Recorded interview of 911 caller, Darling. This is Sergeant Joe Walker, Tennessee Highway Patrol Criminal Investigation Division. And let me put his picture out here for effect of you seeing what kind of dirtbag this guy is. Right here beside it. So you can see a picture of the liar at the time that he's lying. This is Joe Walker right here. Active Sheriff's Department. This is his lie. Joe Walker. That's Joe Walker. And now he's employed with Knox County Sheriff's Department, Criminaloids Division. There's the Sheriff's Department. Right there. In that building right there. So that's where Joe Walker works at now. They just had a sheriff's deputy kill a warrants division. The sheriff's department got a warrant on somebody and killed somebody on Sevier Avenue, about a mile from where I live. They tell the truth about the warrants and what happened in their killing, right? I mean, I'll show you where they lie. He lied. I'll show you a lie, and he can arrest you. He's got power because the sheriff let him be a sheriff's deputy because he tells the truth and he's good for public safety, or because he upholds the lies of the sheriff's department, the lies of THP, and could kill you. That's that serious. So remember his face. That's the wanted poster on watch out for him. He'll lie on you. I used to work with him. I know how dirty and dangerous he is. He's a thug. So here we go. Here's his lie. Let me put the picture right here beside it where you can see who the liar is. Black and white. You can believe Old Glory all you want to. Here's the lie. Now here's what he said. This is a police report he wrote. Exhibit 25002. Sergeant Joe Walker, interview of 911 caller, and Trooper Van Morgan, report narrative, second paragraph. Miss Darling stated she heard a loud crash, looked out her bedroom window and saw a vehicle hit a tree. So he said she heard a loud crash, looked out her bedroom window and saw a car hit a tree. Puts that together, doesn't he? Miss Darling called 911 while she was watching the vehicle burst into flames. So he is alleging that she looked out her window and saw a car hit a tree, but he left out a bunch of stuff. Here's what she really said. So that's a lie. Signed his name to that report. Here's a lie. Recorded interview of 911 caller, Darling, page 1. This is Sergeant Joe Walker, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Criminal Investigation Division. It's Saturday, the 26th of November, 9:33 a.m., talking with Shirley Darling about crash in Knox County at Andersonville Pike near Hill Road. Charlie, you understand why I'm here taping the conversation? Darling, yes. Walker, how did you come to find out about the crash? Darling, I heard a loud noise and thought a car had maybe come down Hill Road and run into one of the brick columns out here. And of course, I looked out my bedroom window and that I couldn't see anything. I looked at, this is what she said, I couldn't see anything. He said she heard a loud crash, looked out her bedroom window and saw a vehicle hit a tree. Signed his name. She said, I heard a loud noise and I looked out my bedroom window and I couldn't see anything. He says she's seen something. He says that she's seen a car hit a tree. Her testimony is she couldn't see anything. So which one is it, Joe? You got your lie a little bit mixed up, didn't you? You left out a step. She looked out her bedroom window, and just like me, she didn't see anything. And you say, well, that's just one time she did see it. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. It says, I looked out my bedroom window and I couldn't see anything. He says, she looked out her bedroom window and saw a car hit a tree. That's not what she said. He saw he's lying in a police report. I could look out my bedroom and couldn't see anything. It was dark. She couldn't see anything. It was dark. He says she saw something. He says she saw a car hit a tree, and then I saw a light go, and it must have been something like a van or something like that. Darling, I don't know. I don't know. Can't figure it out. It wasn't burning, and I saw somebody, and I thought, well, maybe the fire. I mean, because it wasn't burning before that. Walker, so you just heard a loud bang. Darling, that's primarily what I heard. Okay. So she looked out her bedroom and couldn't see anything. Now look at this. Crash not visible to other eyewitness on the scene. Sergeant Joe Walker misrepresents in his report that Miss Shirley Darling saw the crash when she looked out her bedroom window. She says she did not see it originally and called 911 because of what she heard, not saw. His report indicates she looked out her bedroom window and saw a crash. That is not according with the testimony. She looked out her bedroom window and could not see the crash until sometime later it suddenly caught on fire. A small detail that is important and others are left out of this incident in an effort by the Department of Safety to wrongfully incriminate Mr. Morgan, falsely allege a very destructive accusation against Mr. Morgan, his family, and their future, that he intentionally saw the crash and chose to ignore it. The car under the circumstances was not visible in the dark until later it caught on fire after Morgan had passed it. So Joe Walker is backing up the narrative that's false of the Tennessee Highway Patrol. So they hire him at the Sheriff's Department to back up the lies. If a deputy wants to come in your house here in Knox County and kill you, Sergeant Joe Walker will say they pulled a gun when they didn't. He could say that. Or say, leave something out that tends to incriminate somebody if they want to and gives them a right to kill you based on dirty lies. I'm just saying, watch out for Joe Walker and his lies. That's what they're about. They're dirtbag thugs that are criminals. Here's a picture of Major Satterfighter. She went on to be a captain, administrator who backs up sexual pervert and lies on trooper in harm's way who was protecting the public. She's protecting the establishment while sitting in the safety of an office. Satterfighter, there, look at that fat thing. And she received an award for my work. They even admit my work was good. They got an award for it, District of the year I saved more lives. They didn't get the same award the next year because the fatality rate went up because they got me fired. Here's a major that released the video to the news media. Loser drunk using THP for her own private taxi costs hundreds to get killed on Tennessee roads. She is a lying danger to public safety. She should be arrested immediately for fraud. Now, she released the videotape to the news media. And then they blamed me, gaslighting me. Trooper Morgan did it. She watched the video the next day, wasn't even my supervisor, had nothing to do with the case or anything. Watched it with her buddy, Satterfighter, conducting a covert criminal operation with these three involved in a criminal, with more people than that. They get everybody involved when they want to get rid of somebody because they'll get promoted out of it. They get a promotion. So that's Heatherly on the witness list. And here's her speaker spotlight, Captain Stacy Heatherly. It says she, with the THPPM on the line emblem, says responsible. Captain Heatherly is also a 20-year military veteran, retired from the 2278th 1175th Tennessee Army National Guard. A leaflet they put out with the Tennessee Highway Patrol emblem. She never served one day in the military. Never served one day. Also released a video, I think, to the news media. Was investigating something, a covert operation against the department policy that she had no business and no right to investigate. My sergeant wasn't even watching the video. So we'll cover some of this, more of this tomorrow. I'll fight against people in government power for you. So contribute. Give me $1 to let me know you care. We'll be out here 6 days a week, going to major news events. Try to uncover the crooked, people in power government, leader of the truth social movement, power to you the people, to give your government to you. And your government's not working for you right now, it's working for them. And it's going to get worse. You could get killed by Sergeant Joe Walker, and he could lie about you. Because I just showed you where he lied in a police report. We'll be back here tomorrow, probably about 5:36, 6:30. And Saturday morning. So go Vols. They play Alabama tomorrow. And we can make a difference. Have hope. See you tomorrow. Unbridled News. Charles Van Morgan. You won't hear this truth anywhere. Last thing I always say is God loves you, and I do too.